Casting couch, take one.
Oh,
Coaching couch, take one.
there we go. Guys, welcome to the very first episode of Coaching Couch. We have become shitfluencers.
Yes, we have.
Okay. So, the idea behind this is my beautiful, beautiful co-host. You will know this reference to Jamie to the Joe Rogan thing. Does Jamie pull this up stuff?
Oh.
He's the background to the whole podcast.
Oh
Yeah, 100%. Give you a quick introduction to what we're trying to do here. Some coaching information, some back and forth, some general chat and banter that you can get off us. Ellen has listed questions I haven't seen yet, so stuff on coaching, stuff that you might have seen on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know what's going to come, and yeah, we'll just get into it. Episode 1. I'd be like Joe Rogan when I have like episode 7,000, but no, this is episode 1. All right, share the straw.
Share the straw. I just feel like when you got real close to people with headphones, it's just gonna be like.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Let's get my mouth out of the fucking true.
Everybody's hearing what I hear.
Right here.
Okay, let's go straight into it.
Okay.
I'm seeing loads all over Instagram, talking to my own clients, especially because the weather's getting better. Everybody's loving these fitness classes. It can be like high rocks, it could be spinning, it could be any of those crazy acrobatic classes. Do you have any thoughts as a coach on them? Do you think they're
classes?
Yes.
Talk to the straw.
Yeah.
Okay. I give a multitude of different answers to this, right?
Okay.
I think one thing I'd be very conscious of is pick the modality of fitness classes that is serving your goal.
Okay.
I think I used to run fitness classes when very young. I used to have my own gyms. I used to run classes all the time. And what you tend to find is people, when you talk to them in spinning, when you talk to them in high rocks, is a little bit different, right? High rocks is taken onto some competitive thing, which is giving people a sense of accomplishment, like 5Ks and marathons have done. But because they're getting little badges and they're going to events.
I want a medal.
Yeah, exactly. So if I park that as a separate modality, because it is a fitness class, and then just park that for a second, because there's a different tangible thing to that, which is events. Some type of cult following, some type.
You get the competitive side.
It's what CrossFit used to be before CrossFit fucked itself.
But some spin classes have those, like when you can see everybody's name in the class and you like race each other. That's kind of competitive. It's not the same thing. You're not going home with a medal, and you're not being like, oh, I'm the champion.
It's my zone heart rate and stuff.
Yeah,
I get that. And then you had Peloton as well, which look, the one thing I would say, and this is the easiest answer ever. Does the fitness class exactly match your goals to the physique and the long-term effects that you want? Because I know a lot of people are like, I did a circuit class. I'm like, all right, Mary, you did a circuit class, but then you went home and fucking had McDonald's. Right. So it's like, why are you doing it? And people are like, for the social event, blah, blah, blah. And I'm
the thing is, do you think it works best like in tangent?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait, that's wrong.
I think it's tangent. Conjunction. Does it work best if you're like, say, if you have like 3 strength training sessions?
Oh, as an add-on.
As an add-on, like 1 or 2. So then you're still getting the social, you're getting your cardio.
But how many of my clients would have, like, they would do high rocks? Like, I have some high-level high rocks athletes who
they're
do
insane.
It. Yeah, and they're like, I would never be able to run with them. I'd never be able to do high rocks with them.
Oh, stop it! Like, I'd be so embarrassed.
But like their physiques are so mid. No, but like I told them that, like ruthless. But like, do you know what I mean? They come in, they're like, I've been doing training for 9 years.
Yeah, but when they're not training for like, some people train to lose weight, some people train just for like those competitions, and then there's aesthetic training.
No, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be separate. I'm just saying, like, they're so bought in. So if it's a spinning class, you're so bought into losing weight, but your diet, like, let me go through them, right? Okay. Spinning class, and you're like, I'm doing spinning to lose weight and sweat, and like, okay, your diet's shit, so that's fucked. I'm doing circuits. Why? It's because like I don't want to gain any like big muscle. I just want to get. And it's like your diet's still fucked, and also that's not how it works.
No, I wish I could gain.
High rocks is like high rocks. I want to be lean and whatever. It's like, again, diet. But it says most people, I'd look at them and like, you don't even have enough muscle mass to worry about the lean look. You're not even strong enough. I'm not fit enough to do high rocks. I'm just saying, it's just when you get all these clients coming in, you're like, what's the main mission? And you're like, I don't feel comfortable in my skin. I don't do that. So I would say fitness classes are awesome. Right, and they're really, I would encourage, like, especially out in Thailand, you have like,
oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have even in like Phuket specifically.
Or like Bali, do you know what I mean?
They don't really have as many fitness classes. They have massive gyms. But as long as it's the real answer, as long as it's fitting in exactly with what you want as the outcome, then fantastic. But I don't think a lot of people are fitting their
I
outcomes.
think they're just like, oh, social. That makes them feel good.
Spinning
because
their
they've
wheels
done
doing spinning. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would
But
just
you know, here, I'll take the straw.
yeah, go on.
That so eloquently brings me to my next topic.
Okay.
Segue like a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that also, when you get, especially when you are talking to somebody who's very new into like the fitness and training and nutrition, and they were like, well, I need a variety
Of food.
of training. I can't be doing the same thing, but my week is also, I can't plan it out.
Biggest fucking straw. I will say this very clearly. You can have variety if you're very successful at showing me that you are able to spin multiple plates. Now let me look directly down the fucking camera. Variety is amazing if you're very skilled. Variety is amazing if you're already fit. It's amazing how many people who are not fit, are fat as fuck, can't lose weight, are always the people who are like, I need 700 different recipes and I want to do different training with it.
But also, they won't make a single recipe that you send them. They won't make a single one.
End of podcast. Frustration levels hit 100. I would say this, right? And this is my rule as a coach. So just if you don't know this, right? You become as simple as humanly possible until you win at simplicity. So my rule is 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, 3 dinners. And when you get bored, I'm like, fantastic. Replace the one that you hate the most or you're bored of the most, and you do that every week. So you replace, let's say, 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, and then over 6 weeks, that's 2 meals you replace. That's 12 new meals. Now you have 12 new meals plus the original 9. Now you have 21 meals. That's a ridiculous shopping list. I haven't ever met someone who can make 30 or 40 different variations of meals. So 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. Let's say you have snacks on top of that's about 30. There's no fucking way you can make 30 different meals. The only suggestion I would have, right, and we do this, is cook a big batch of meat. So let's say like the barbecue chicken that we make.
Oh, so good.
Right.
And like, it's great with pasta.
Yes,
It's great with
potatoes,
wraps,
everything.
everything.
Right.
So
So when you're talking about variety, the variety doesn't mean it has to be a whole new dinner. It means that like we're having potatoes and the barbecue chicken. We're having chicken wraps
But like that,
with the same chicken.
It's the same chicken, but you're adding different vegetables. You're adding different, like the wraps might have cheese on them, but the potatoes will be like all soy saucy and
We
caramelized
microwave
onions.
our microwavable rice. So the thing that we don't do is we don't make the main ingredients, which is the protein, going to be the hardest thing to cook, which is the longest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to have that there as well, because it could be like, I could be on my way to training or on my
Yeah.
way back from training and too
Just-
tired to cook a whole meal, but
Yeah.
I have a bowl of chicken there.
Yeah, so chicken and then microwave a wrap, put a chicken in with salad. Now
I
you've
have multiple
Yeah.
options that
Yeah.
take me less than 5 minutes.
so the answer for variety is you can have it when you're an expert, you can have it when you're in shape, you can have it when life is much easier. But if you're struggling and it's new, I don't understand why you would add complexity when complexity is only going to add a barrier. What you want to do is make things as simple as humanly possible, and also you want to eat your favorite meals. There's no way that you have 30 fucking favorite meals.
No.
You know, you're going to have bullshit then, and you're not going to enjoy them. And then you, like, people are making meals like, oh, like they don't like the text. You hate overnight oats, but I love overnight oats. But but for me, I make them perfectly, so they're good for me.
I like warm oats.
Yeah, I like cold. I like cold everything, but
Overnight oats. It's
Yeah.
just, it's like somebody's already chewed.
but here's the problem, right? So you want variety, and then I come around as a coach and be like, well, how about these overnight oats? And I go, well, I need 6 different breakfasts, but then you don't have 6 different options. So you make a breakfast you don't like, and then you're fucked. So
That I don't eat breakfast, and I'm
and then you
in a
skip
bad
it.
mood all day,
Yeah.
and he has to deal with
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. And then if you don't do that, you go to get chicken roll or fucking whatever, something stupid. So yeah, variety is small changes consistently, not fucking 30 different meals. Hopefully that makes sense.
Hey. Are you ready for more?
Mm-hmm.
Ready for more?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Straw.
I know, it's my turn to talk. Okay.
We're at 10 minutes already.
Or 10 minutes. You can talk. Okay. Calorie banking. This is such a big thing, especially coming up to the fact it's warmer. People are wanting to get out more. Like, everybody's leaving their dusty houses because it was a miserable, cold, wet, dark winter. And I love to be social. I obviously I'm social with my husband across the world now. But there's so many events, people are coming out now, and like, people are like, oh yes, I want a calorie bank, and I don't have the best opinion on this. I'm only new. I've only been doing this a couple of months with my own clients, but I want to know your opinion, because so far what I've seen is people are like, yes, I'm calorie banking, but they don't actually have like that data to back it up.
Mm.
So they're telling me this. They're
Okay.
telling me this. And I don't know how much like they're actually are they aiming to save 100, 200, 300 calories. They
Yeah.
don't know themselves because they haven't planned their weekend out. So how can you calorie bank without actually having any data? So that's my question.
Okay. To answer your question, most clients will lie to you. Right?
Not me.
Yeah. Um, most people like the idea of calorie banking because
It's a great idea.
it sounds ideologically great, right? Now there's three different things that you need to look at. Do they calorie bank before the event, or I prefer to calorie bank after the event?
Because you know how much you're actually making
Yeah,
up for. You know what debt
yeah.
you're in.
So, like instead of going Monday to Sunday with their
Mhm.
total weekly calories, I prefer to go Friday to Friday because Friday, Saturday, Sunday is normally the social event.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had 2,000 calories, so it's 14,000 over 7 days, Friday to Friday. If they shave off 4,000 on Saturday, which is easily done,
Yeah.
right? So you've like let's say normal Friday 2,000, let's say 4,000 on Saturday, and let's say 3,000 on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 2, 4, and 3. That's 9,000. You're
Yeah.
left with 11,000 for 5 days,
Okay.
right? So I could do.
I'm not breaking that down.
Yeah,
I'm not
so,
breaking that down.
but like very quickly, right? So you have 11,000 divided by 5, which is that left with 2,000 calories?
It's like 2,200 or something.
Oh no, sorry. So I said 2,000 calories a day. Multiplied by 7 is 14, right? So let's say we shave off 4,000 for Saturday.
Yeah.
We shave off 2,000 for Friday because Friday was normal.
Yeah.
And then
3,000 is what you said.
Yeah. So you're left with 5,000 calories for 5 fucking days. For Monday,
Okay,
Tuesday,
so you're
Wednesday,
gonna
Thursday.
have to carry that
Divide
deficit
that by 4.
for
So
like 2 weeks.
1,250 calories. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh.
So,
It's yeah. Okay.
right. So you can do it before.
It'll be a bit like.
Well, what I like to do is the 3 days before and 3 days after, and here's why.
Okay.
So if the event is
Mhm.
Saturday,
Yeah.
you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
right? Save 200 calories straight off the bat.
Of course.
So to go from 2,000 to
Don't worry.
1,800.
Even 16 if you want to be like.
It's aggressive, but yeah, right? And then you know what's left for the 3 days after. Because 5 days or 4 days or whatever it is after that is too aggressive. Now, you cannot calorie bank, as you said, without all the data.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just making up an ideology. It's like, I saved a few calories. And I'm like, where? When? Like, what are you tracking? They're like, yeah. So one, are you tracking? They're like, well, I try my best. It's like, then you can't calorie bank because calorie banking requires perfect data.
That's the thing.
It's perfect maths.
It's awesome if you're awesome at it.
Well, like, you have to imagine me being like the IRS or revenue or whoever is like, yo, dickhead, like you can't just tell me you earned this. You have to actually show me, like you give me the receipts.
That's very well put.
Right. So it's like if you and I always say this to people, would you be confident enough if I put this up on Instagram and we bet each other $5,000 that I would put up a poll to say who do you think is right here, me or you, that you would win? And if you can't do that, then I said, well, then you're not doing it accurately enough. Now that doesn't mean that they shouldn't shave back calories. See, this is the problem. Even if they're doing it wrong, the ideology will still help.
Okay.
So they're still going to restrict. But if they didn't do that,
oh yeah,
then they're doubly fucked.
Yeah, you'd be losing the plot of like the entire week instead of one day for an event.
But to end this, because this is very big, the issue I would see is that people would come back a week or two later and say, "But I'm calorie banking. Why am I losing any weight?"
But are you actually carrying a deficit?
They're not, because the data's not there. So what you have to match is emotional control, which is the person thinks they're following an ideology perfectly. I only had my social event on Saturday. Why did I not lose any weight? And then they're weighing this as on Sunday.
I think that can be the hardest thing though, when someone's coming to you and you're like, look, you are trying. I love the effort. I love the energy you're bringing to the table 80% of the time. But that 20% where you're not thinking or you're not.
Yeah, but like if I'm the best partner in the world and I put in 90% effort and I fuck a lot of Victoria's Secret bottles, like the effort doesn't really matter.
And he didn't invite me.
Yeah, exactly. But the effort doesn't matter.
I know, exactly.
So like what I mean is we're rewarding effort because we're encouraging behavioral change. That's absolutely fine. But what we need to actually think about is, like, when you're talking about weight loss, because it's such mathematical behavior, like all I care about is the data.
Yeah, that's the bad thing though, because the journey itself, weight loss and transformations, is data driven. The people getting there are emotionally driven.
Yeah. So it's a mix of both.
But
it works. Calorie banking works. I think the problem when people don't use it right.
Yeah.
So and I think that's what you're seeing now is that people are like, well, I calorie banked. I'm like, yeah, but you've no data for a couple of days before, and all of a sudden now, because there's an event coming up, you do calorie banking now. But what happened 4 days before? and on the Tuesday they had a takeaway they didn't tell you about.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
seen
or
the
that
data,
sneaky shops like
but I
stop
see,
on the way home.
but I know the clients you're talking about because I've seen yours where like all of a sudden they have an event coming up Saturday and they haven't tracked for 10 days beforehand.
Obviously, I come to you and I'm like, Rory, you've been doing this a lot longer than
Yeah,
me.
they're
Like,
lying
can
to
you
you.
help me?
Yeah.
How do I say it nicely?
Yeah, that's
Rory's
a
still
skill.
trying to figure that one out.
That's a skill. Say it nicely and to be like, yo, what the fuck, yeah.
All right, let's start wrapping this up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I need to ask you what has? Give me just one thing that kind of irked you or grind your gears this week as a coach. We won't end like this. I promise. It'll be positive, but let's just hear it.
Okay. One that is always there. I know this is episode 1, so you'll hear this
It's
again.
probably the most important one then.
The overuse and predominance of the word tiredness to emphasize every aspect of your check-in or life. So I don't understand now. You have a word for waking up in the morning.
I defrost.
Yeah, right.
Like,
And she defrosts heavy.
but at least I know, and you acknowledge most of the time I set myself. I know who I am. You know who I am.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Ellen has that hour in the morning.
Yeah,
She. I will wake up before Rory if needs be to have that hour.
ideally.
Ideally,
Yeah.
not
Not
always.
like this morning.
I'm not perfect. It's okay. But ideally, I wake up an hour. I wake up an hour and a half before Rory, and I do
Ideally.
my own shit. I watch my YouTubes. I make my coffee, and then like Rory will wake up, and I'll make your breakfast.
Mhm.
And he gets up, he takes a shit, he takes a shower, and he's good to go.
Yeah, I don't defrost. I go. I wake up and I'm gone.
I'm like,
Yeah.
where am I?
I'm going to war.
We're in Thailand, and I still put like my hoodie on, and I have a hood, and I'm out in the balcony, just like,
No.
oh, it's so pretty here.
Yeah, I find my shorts on my top and I'm out. But yeah. But I would definitely say using tiredness as the pre-definition to your day and you're checking all the time as an adult is a very dangerous thing to do because you're already labeling yourself with a negative that's going to carry throughout the day, and then
You're supposed to like carry some energy through the day. Like, how are you feeling today? It could be bad, it could be good, but
well,
you're carrying something.
I have this rule, and I had this with you at the start. You know, it's like don't fucking say tired in the morning.
Yeah,
Don't fucking tell me
I'm
you're
not
tired.
allowed to say that. If I've slept for 8 hours, if I've slept for between 6 to 10 hours, I'm not tired
But even
within
if you
3 hours
but
of
even
being
if you
awake.
but even if we are, I'm just like, don't fucking say the word.
No.
Do not do like it's not. I know this sounds a bit fluffy, right? But I'm just like, don't label yourself with something. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and call myself a cunt. Like,
No.
do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not going to label myself as like, oh, I'm tired. It's like I wake up and I'm like, that's how adults feel. And I think there's some magical thing where people are like, I'm not meant to feel that way. But when's the last time you woke up that you didn't feel like you could have a 16-hour sleep and you wake up
I wake
groggy?
up worse.
Yeah, you wake up groggy.
But I think people think that like if I get a perfect routine down, if I just get my routine down, I'm never going to be tired.
But I like
I'm
the word
never going to
defrost.
not want to go to the gym. I'm never
Yeah.
going to.
But I like that word defrost because I think people wake up needing to defrost. I don't think they wake up tired. I think their body is literally waking up with some
I
type of
set
rhythm.
my expectations for the day. I can figure out what I'm feeling.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. So
I
that would be
go.
my main thing all the time, every week, which is like, please don't label yourself a tired. It's like, did you sleep? Like, oh, I got 7-8 hours sleep, and like, okay, well then you're just waking up to defrosting, and then I'm like, what's your morning routine? You're like, I get up, I have coffee, and I was like, okay, well where's the fucking water? Where did you wash your face? Like, dunk your head in some fucking water or something. Like, do something. Do you know? It's like, what did you have for dinner last night? And it's some shit food. It's like, so that would be my most
What
frustrating.
did you have for breakfast?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, and then by midday, like you're not that tired. So
Yeah,
that would
no,
be-
I'm never tired after like I've been awake for an hour.
yeah, that would, and I always say that with
This-
Wingardium
Our
Leviosa.
sound is going all over the place.
I know it should be attached to my shirt. My other,
I don't know why I let you hold the
my,
stick.
my other, yeah,
I'm
my,
gonna hold
my
it.
other microphone where it just didn't
It,
charge.
it didn't charge.
Yeah, that would be my biggest
Okay, and like
coaching gripe.
let's end it on a positive. Tell me something awesome from coaching this week. I want to feel good.
I will do a client highlight, and if you go
I love
on
these.
to any of the TikToks or Instagram pages, I actually post it on the YouTube page as well.
Maybe we can edit like a picture.
I could probably, yeah, somewhere. Don't hold us to that edit. Client who's with us very recently, Gemma. Just a transformation. I would encourage you to go and look at it, but I think there's 4 points I would give you on this. Very day one, just jump straight into it. It's like, what do I do? Tell me what to do. I'll go do it. Works very hard. I've seen her work 12 to 13-hour shifts. Is always on her feet. Is always busy. The energy of, like, I remember pulling my phone up like this and like, look at her check-in, like, and be like, look how positive she is, and look how fucking energetic she is.
I only ever get to see the highlights that you guys see. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I see them before you post it.
Yeah.
But you were telling me about her. She's moved and everything this month, didn't
Moved to
she?
Spain. Went during the blackout, the European blackout. Got
She's had a
stuck in an airport.
crazy month,
Stuck in the
like.
airport for 13 hours. Got sent home. Went back over. The European blackout happened in Spain. Was working non-stop. So like imagine like in that 5 to 6 weeks, the transformation's amazing. Has moved country. Has done everything. Has been working non-stop. Has loads of shit going on. Um,
It's pure energy. She's
yeah,
never tired.
yeah, and even like
She's always tired.
yeah, she's always like, but she moves. Like she got back from the airport, went training. Like 13 hours waiting in the airport, flight cancelled, bang. What she do the next day? First thing in the morning, train. So that level of whatever I need to do to be successful, I will do. I'm like, that's how you get results. And if you look at every single one of my transformations, what I always put down, and you see them is, it's amazing how positive people are always the one who get the best results.
I agree with you.
And
I
it's
agree with
always, and this is for my own clients as well, but if for anyone who's training with anyone else or yourself, or whatever, if you keep labeling yourselves with negatives, there is no way to overcome that because you're going to crush yourself with the weight of expectation and labeling. Like if you imagine every label you give yourself is 2 pounds to carry on top of your head every single day. If you label yourself 90 times, no wonder you keep failing because you're carrying 180 pounds of negative fucking connotations and labels that it's just not going to help you long term. Where someone gets up and every day and says, I'm trying my very best, I'm going to do my best, and I have all the data there, and there was social events and da, da, da. I said, but I'm overcoming it. There's not carrying anything with them. So if you want to be successful, I think it's just add the positive labels to yourself because there's enough fucking problems in the world that are going to kick you in the nuts. Like this week alone for us, like
you.
lost the Instagram page, lost a bit, had to restart everything, restarting brand new episodes on YouTube as a podcast, restarting brand new TikToks, restarting everything. And like I think I spent less than 2 hours being a mopey bastard about it.
I was literally just about to start singing your praises, which you'll probably hate because you have to sit here and listen to it. But if there's one thing that I will tell all of you is that man has had that business and that Instagram personally, his Facebook personally, for over 15 years. He has built thousands and thousands
2009.
and thousands of contacts and clients and messages and even like pictures of his own kids,
Yeah.
and they're gone, and it's awful. And the two of us, as soon as that happened, we were like, what can we do? Like getting support, like researching things, sending emails, and we have about like mostly Rory because I'm taking care of other things that I can in the background. He sat there for hours and hours on the phone trying to get it back, and you just can't. And so he goes, right, what can I do? What can I do to move forward? What can I do to better the situation? What do I need to do? Because it's shit. And he could sit there and mope and cry and be like, oh, my all my hard work. But he goes, no, I need to work harder now.
Yeah.
I need more now. I need to push harder and get past the next barrier because this isn't where you want to sit.
No, I keep telling my clients all this time, but it's like overthinking and underacting is the biggest human behavioral problem we have. So like my always solution is I will act and I will do so much work and then I can think about it next week. Once
That,
I've done loads of work, I can think about what the problem is. But like sitting there thinking hasn't given me any solution to anything in my life.
no.
So that's the big thing. I suppose I finish on this, which is like the positive or the thought process I have for the week. And I've said this because we were sitting over there doing a lot of the work. Um, I've said this so many times as a coach, and I've said this back when I was coaching in person as well. If a bird is going to shit in your head, you're walking down the street and a bird is going to shit in your head, that bird is always going to shit in your head. And I would rather have a six pack and massive biceps than be a fat fuck and useless because that bird is always destined to shit in your head. So if you think like life is going to come to you and you're like, oh, life's tough, whatever, that bird was always going to shit in your head. What you do next, what you do for yourself is for yourself. Because that bird is always going to come and fly over you, always going to see your big shiny bald head and go, that looks like a good landing spot. So my only mission today is to give you some context and coaching. But the last thing is just do it for yourself because life's problems are going to hit you anyway. You're going to have problems in your relationship. You're going to have problems in your business. You're going to have problems with whatever, things you don't control. But the things you do control are yourself. And that's all I would ask you to control for yourself. Do things for you. Life will do its own thing.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a
Episode one.
wrap.
It's a wrap.
You
Do as a
feel
wrap.
it? Oh, I'm
hungry.
gonna go eat a wrap.
I'm
But here, hold the mic so I can do
hungry.
that.